Hey, at starting a new project. When you go into Premiere and you start a new project, you're going to be presented with this screen here. Before we jump into this screen, I want to show you some organization that I do on the hard drive, my media drive, before I jump into starting a new project. So I'm going to bring up Explorer here, and here is my media drive right there. And on that media drive, I have a number of folders for all these different projects that I work on. And the one I'm working on today is aerial montage. I'm going to double click on it. And in that folder, I have 6 other folders, one for exports, one for the project file, another for video. And I'll jump in there. And you see I have 4 other folders, and you can add folders to this, rename these folders. But I have these folders already set up. And then a folder for audio, and in there I have for dialogue, effects, and music. And then graphics, and then also other assets that I might want to keep with the project. So I set this up first, and then when I go into Premiere, I'm ready to set up the project. Up at the top, you'll have a place where you can put the name of the project, and right now I'll just label it Aerial Montage. And then the location that you want the project file to reside. Now, this is just the project file. This is not all of your assets, your video or your audio. But I'm going to go ahead and choose the location that I want it to be in. And there's aerial montage. I'll go to project right there and select that folder. So at this point, I have named the project, and I've also selected the location on the computer where I want the project file to be saved. Over here, you have the ability to navigate through your computer. And right now it's just showing some sample media. And I'll kind of use this as an example to look at this section here. This is where you're going to find all of the media that drive might have on it. And right now we're in list view for all of these clips here. I can jump to the grid view, which is also very helpful because you can scan through the footage and get an idea of what each clip looks like. You can also adjust the size of these thumbnails to be larger or smaller, and the same with the grid view. Now, in this grid view, I can select clips that I might want to bring into my project. Now, these clips here at this moment are not the ones that I want to use, so I'm going to navigate to this E drive right here that has content on it that I want to bring in. So think of this as, so this aerials folder right here, I'm going to go into it, double click on it, and here is footage of the aerials that I've shot. So think of this as being like an SD card that you've brought in and you've mounted on your computer, and that those files are now residing on that SD card. Keep in mind, we want to move those files from that SD card to our project folder on the media drive for the computer. That way they'll be safe and we don't accidentally format our SD card and lose these files. So in here, I can begin to select the files that I want to bring into the project by clicking on this checkbox here. Hopefully you'll notice at this point that these clips are beginning to show up down here. Everything down here will be the content that you then bring into your project. So I can select clips from this drive in this folder, and then if I want to jump to another drive, let's say I'll go into this drive right here, and just for right now, I'll select this one clip. I can select clips from multiple drives and from multiple locations. So it's very helpful. Once I've selected these clips, I need to get them off of this drive and onto this drive for safekeeping. The way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to jump over here to import settings over here to the right, and you'll see copy media. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to select that. And there's a few options in here. We can copy with MDS verification, and that's just going to verify the files once you've copied that they've been copied correctly. For right now, I'm just going to go without the verification. Then we can also choose where we want these files to be saved. Now, right now, it is selected to save in the same location as the project, and I don't want to do that because I have a separate folder for my video files. So I'm going to open this up. You also see that there is a preset destination that you can set up. It can go to your Creative Cloud files. I'm going to choose my own location. That'll open up the dialog box, and I will navigate now to my D drive there where my media goes, into the aerial montage folder, and here is the video folder with the different cards in it, and I'm just going to select card 1 for this first set of files. I'll select that, and so now those files will be copied into this folder. Once I go into Premiere, I can also tell it to set up a new bin in Premiere with these files in it. And so I can select that option there and then give it a name, and I'll just name this video. Now when I go to create this project, these 5 clips will be copied, and they'll be copied into this folder right here, and then in Premiere they'll be placed in a bin called video. So with all of that done, I'm going to go ahead and select Create. During the process of creating that project, Adobe will open up Adobe Media Encoder and use that to transfer the files from the location that they were to the location that you now want them to be. So once that's done, we'll close out Media Encoder. And now we are in our project in Premiere, and you'll see that our project is labeled Aerial Montage. In our bin is a video folder, and in that folder are those 5 files that we selected. We still have the R3D and then the MP4s that we originally started with. I hope this tutorial has been helpful. For more on video content creation, check out my other tutorials.